Your officials are appointed by the Commonwealth Boxing Council and the British Boxing Board of Control, and your 3 scoring judges at ringside are Mr. Richie Davies of All Hallows, Kent, Mr. Mark Green of Romford, and Mr. Marcus McDonnell of Twickenham. Your British Boxing Board of Control steward in charge is Mr. Mick Collier, and when the action begins, your referee in charge is Mr. Ian John Lewis of Gillingham. Your timekeeper at the bell is Mr. Bob Edgeworth. And now to introduce the contestants. Firstly, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the white shorts, weighing in 12 stone, 6 pounds, 12 ounces, with a record of 8 wins from 9 contests, with 2 wins coming by knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting and introducing from Darlington, the challenger for the title, Bob Ajisafe. And across the ring, his opponent this evening, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the blue and white shorts, weighing in 12 stone, 6 pounds, 8 ounces. He became one of the hottest prospects in boxing after winning 3 ABA championships. He is currently undefeated in his first 13 professional contests, with 9 KOs to his name. Please welcome from the city of Liverpool, and returning for his second appearance on the Deborah Fight Night, the 3-time ABA heavyweight champion and the reigning and defending Commonwealth light heavyweight champion, Tony "Bomber" Bellew. Ladies and gentlemen, your referee will now give his final instructions to both boxers.
I am the referee. I suppose you're both in the dressing rooms. Obey my command at all times. You both know the rules. Watch your heads, kicking punches up. When I shout break, you break clean. And remember, defend yourself at all times. Shake hands.
Ladies and gentlemen, 12 3-minute rounds for the Commonwealth Light Heavyweight Championship.
Time for the black tie diners to halt the chit-chat, put down the wine glasses and focus on this Commonwealth clash. Is Liverpool's powerful Tony Bellew the next coming? Will the technical, rangy and fast fist of Bob Ajisafe somehow derail the tale? Time to find out more about Bellew. It's 14 fights now, and he's up against a slick southpaw who's only lost 1 of 9. He is a couple of years younger as well. Awkward, mobile, capable, but the right hand of Bellew is a danger, and Ajisafe has been down early before.
Bellew walks in with a no-nonsense attitude, didn't want to shake hands, didn't even want to take his eye off Ajisafe, just wants to get on with work, stalks him down, takes the centre of the ring. Ajisafe's got to tuck up, use that jab, use the ring, use that awkwardness, do not try and stand there and toe-to-toe it out with Bellew.
Mesmerising with a magnetism, wasn't he, in that pre-fight package we saw? Talking to the camera, he's got so much confidence. Tony Bellew says this is the first of many titles. Really believes he's going to become a hero in Merseyside. There is a long, long way to go, but this is a step up against Ajisafe, who's trained for many weeks for the big opportunity.
The game plan's been set. Bellew's right hand is just whizzing past Ajisafe. Ajisafe has got to keep moving to his right. At times, take the quick 2-3 shot combination, then move up.
Fast flurries from Ajisafe, but the right hand of Bellew again catching Ajisafe, and he's been forced onto the back foot already.
Bellew's so intent on getting that one shot off, he's following Ajisafe round the ring instead of squaring him off.
Bellew said he's met loads of awkward southpaws through his amateur days. 3-time ABA champion. Super pedigree. Gripping that gum shield, Ajisafe knows he's got to somehow weather the storm in the first few rounds. Maybe fiddle his way through, take Bellew into deeper water, but will he manage that?
Ajisafe never had an easy ride here. 10th professional fight. In again at the deep end. Happy and comfortable to do so. At times looks like he's in trouble, but weathers the storm.
He is open to the right hand of Bellew, and the Liverpool light heavyweight knows how to pull the trigger. Right to the body as well. More from Bellew. Just a nervy start from Bob Ajisafe.
Outside, okay? Get your left foot on the outside of his right foot, okay? Come on.
That's making work.
Experience of Dean Powell and the youth of Anthony Farnell. Good corner.
Good pace of work from Bellew as well. Looked for the opening, chopped the right hand over the top of Ajisafe left hand. So he's just stalking him, walking him down, not getting stupid with the energy level, but he's following him round the ring instead of cutting him off.
Into the second round and the first defence of Tony Bellew's Commonwealth light heavyweight crown. The 27-year-old from Wavertree in Liverpool in the blue trunks, mad Evertonian fan and a real live wire. Bob Ajisafe lying hard on the back of the white trunks. He's won 8 fights, 2 by knockout. Pulled off a couple of shots. This would be a big one if he can wrench the title from the up-and-coming Bellew. Good left hand from Bellew. It's that punch power, just bundled down, no knockdown. Ian John Lewis, the referee, sorts them out, but you just get the feeling that one of these is going to detonate pretty soon from Tony the Bomber Bellew, and Ajisafe is feeling the punches.
Just before Ajisafe went down, he got clipped by a left from Bellew. Bellew's just intent on getting the heavy shots in, not tapping them in, not getting the warm-up, just trying to hurt Ajisafe.
Get thrown down again, but don't worry about those ones, it's the ones in between. And Bob Ajisafe had a troubled fight against Oval Mackenzie when he had to show plenty of bottle. Bellew says he will stop him and make a real statement tonight. Having difficulty already with the power.
At time when Ajisafe's under pressure, the chin goes up in the air, leaves it wide open for the right hand from Bellew.
Blood from the nose of Ajisafe. Right hand just whistles past the chin from Bellew, who has 8 knockouts inside 3 rounds. Will this be the 9th?
I was going to suggest Bellew being a bit cute and a bit sneaky about his work instead of being so obvious in trying to get the heavy shots in, but so far it's working. Breaking Ajisafe down, breaking the confidence down, got him on the back foot, and now starting to break through the guard.
Physically and mentally so addicted to the sport, Tony Bellew writes everything down, charters it in training, and just backs up Bellew with a little right hand. Ajisafe against the ropes, right to the chin as well from Bellew. This is a big session, the second, and Ajisafe looks in all sorts of bother to me, Johnny.
Bellew looks big, he looks strong for the way, he looks the bully in the ring, he knows that. Walking Ajisafe into any position he wants him to do, setting him up for the right uppercut.
Trying to get his hands up, Ajisafe. Bellew calmly, patiently stalking forward and waiting to unload.
It's all right. All he's trying to do, Bob, is line you up to that backhand. You've got to use your jab with confidence and step to your right. Do you understand? Do you understand? Yeah?
Dominic
yeah,
Ingle with the tactics, the game plan. Bob Ajisafe hardly listening, looks as though he's lost in there.
Under pressure, Bellew's work has worked effectively on him. When he slams that right hand straight through the guard of Ajisafe, it breaks him down. They're expecting Bellew to be tough, he'll be hard for the first 4 rounds and then to fade. Let's see if they're right, see if he gets to that point.
Physically, looks hard in there for Bob Ajisafe. Mentally, just a sign that he may already be starting to unravel as Tony Bellew looks for victory number 14. The Liverpool light heavyweight who was walked to the ring by the great John Conti last time we were up on Merseyside, and Conti believes Bellew will fill his shoes and become a world champion. What can Ajisafe do?
He's got to keep on the move and keep changing angles. Don't be so predictable. He's claimed that he's one of the most avoided fighters out there. And you can see why, but Bellew's making it the work so easy. He's not struggling at all.
He's 27, Bellew. 28 in November. And turned late, October 2007. So probably feels like he's in a hurry to really make a move. Totally in control here.
I just hoping to weather the storm of these first 3 or 4 rounds. Bellew neglecting to use that jab to set the shots up. Just like slamming in the big right hands.
But they are doing the damage though. Right over the top. Ajisafe again has to somehow protect himself, but he's just wobbling around now. Legs look unsteady. Ragged Ajisafe.
Bellew literally chasing Ajisafe around the ring, trying to just pin him with one big shot.
Right hand almost bounces off the chin of Bob Ajisafe, who's gritting his teeth, trying to produce his own work here. But the university student from Leeds is getting a boxing lesson in there, and it might not last much longer.
Look how Bellew's setting him up, not taking his eye off him.
He's right, straight down the pipe from Bellew. And again.
Bellew can close the night, needs to cut off the ring, step across him, set him up with a right cross, straight down the middle, open for it.
What's interesting is no real panic at all from Bellew. If he doesn't land, he's just waiting patiently to deliver the shots he believes will get the result. Not overexerting himself, but winning these rounds easily.
But with that jab, Bob, keep nipping with that jab. Keep sipping to your right, yeah? Confidence, Bob. Come on, you've had all the spars in this.
Dominic Ingle, Michael Mars, and great corner. He's got Bob Ajisafe, but he looks like he's just not really there.
They've got to try and cheerlead him into wanting this fight, and he's got a hard tall order in front of him. Bellew's just chopping him down, not giving him a chance to breathe, setting him up with the shots, totally on the defensive, doesn't know where to run, doesn't know where to hide.
Ajisafe has useful wins over the previously unbeaten A.D. Whitmore and over Oval Mackenzie, former holder of this belt, the Commonwealth light heavyweight title that's now in the hands of Tony Bellew, who just thought about going southpaw and has, from the bustling gym of Anthony Farnell and stablemate of Frankie Gavin, who was so good in Birmingham last week as well. And success breeds success, doesn't it?
That's right. You see it happening to others around you. You think we're all working the same. Why shouldn't it happen to me? Bellew's just getting a little bit predictable in his work. I just have to get comfortable with it.
From Ajisafe, and down goes Bellew. What about that? You just never know in this sport. Inside the opening minute of the 4th round, and the Liverpool prospect is put on the seat of his pants. What about that from Ajisafe?
That will give him so much confidence. I was just saying, Bellew's getting so predictable with his work.
Oh, back comes Bellew. Thumping right hand. He does have the power to turn fights on their head. He's been down before, Bellew. It was called really a slit, not much more than that in a previous encounter. That was a knockdown, albeit a flash one. Comes back at Ajisafe and fight on.
Walking straight into the left hand of Ajisafe, disrespecting all he had. Getting predictable with what he wants to do instead of setting up with a jab. Ajisafe getting used to what Bellew's throwing at him. Needs to get sneaky. Tap him, then slam the big shots in.
Needed confidence, needed belief somewhere, Bob Ajisafe. But Bellew seems to have shaken off any effects, and he's come on strong. Just get a feeling, Johnny, that Ajisafe needs to hold himself together because he's got talent.
He finds calm throughout a storm, and all the way through to this point, he's looked in trouble, looked on the receiving end, got a little bit of confidence there. If he gets through this round, it might feed him, give him something to work off in the corner.
Last 30 seconds of a dramatic fourth round. Good shot again from Ajisafe. Well, that was the plan, to get through 4 rounds and then begin to assert his authority. He's had harder fights, Ajisafe.
Had harder fights, been in rougher tussles. Now knows he's fit enough to do it.
There's the fast hands too, and a look of concern on the corner from Anthony Farnell. What a round! And Ajisafe is still in this.
Don't just walk straight onto that. You're looking for one shot.
Keep your head still now. Listen to what you're being told now. Come on.
Right up.
Heroes in your lap.
He's going forward. Listen, go forward all the time.
They want him to throw uppercuts. They don't want him to receive another one like this.
Stepped straight into it, left himself wide open for the left hand from Ajisafe. Couldn't took it, just switched that laugh for a second. Left himself wide open. That's out of disrespect for what Ajisafe had, because he thought he had him going. But then all of a sudden, the character of him came back, slammed the right hand in. Ajisafe stuck to it because through his fitness, tried to hold on, held him round the waist, and Bellew tried to put him under pressure from the off. Nice right hand round the guard of Ajisafe.
Seconds out. Round 5.
Here's the 5th round. Tony Bellew easing and seemingly in total control for the first 3, but down in the 4th. And what happens next? Bob Ajisafe in a challenge for this Commonwealth light heavyweight title. Nobody gave him much of a chance really before this. What are you thinking now, Johnny?
Well, he just wants to keep digging in for luck, use a long jab. Be almost unassuming. Bellew's disrespected what he had in front of him. Ajisafe took full advantage of that. He's got a nice long jab. Got a little bit of snappy this round.
Ajisafe has been through bumpy contests. Bellew hasn't. This is really the first one, so it's becoming a test. How will he react? It's only the 43rd round of Tony Bellew's professional career.
He now has to step up his level now, start using the jab, get to the basics. That will get him through this and get him the win he's looking for, Bellew. It's Ajisafe that's doing it, using that jab, keeping his eye out of fear, out of pressure from Bellew. It's made him alert.
The word from the spies in the camp beforehand said Tony Bellew was absolutely sparkling in sparring. Maybe the spies should have been around Bob Ajisafe's gym.
Dominic said keep an eye on this Ajisafe tonight. He makes a prize one of the two of us. His fitness is coming through. The jab's starting to work in this 5th round. This is all he wants, to get past the first 4 rounds.
And his advisor in the corner, of course, Dominic Ingle, part of your old team, Johnny, a wise man.
Very wise, very good planner.
Any more concentration from Ajisafe? Bellew shaking his head, not flowing like he was in the first 2 or 3 rounds.
So Bellew needs to take a leaf out of Nathan Cudley's book and change his game plan out part way through. Be smart enough to do that, use that jab, change direction, start picking him up, pushing him back and bullying him.
Tell you what, he's walking into 1 or 2 here, Johnny, and puffing up under the eyes as well for Tony Bellew. He might have to answer a couple of questions for the first real time in his professional career.
As this fight rolls on, Bellew is going to start to question himself, start to argue with himself, standing on the front foot of Ajisafe, trying to pin him down.
Just slips as well with the left boot. Don't know if the canvas is wet or The boots just need a little work, maybe they're new. Right hand, still the danger punch from Bellew, but Ajisafe more and more in this.
Right uppercut. Hey, when he leads, count with the right uppercut, left up. So, just
Listen,
sorry for yourself.
you're letting him you're letting him back into the fight. He's nicking the rounds, okay? Use your jab, pop, and then counter off your punch. Be tight. Don't get complacent. Do not get complacent. Come on.
Seconds out. Round
Still really trying to rally Bob Ajisafe. Tony Bellew looks annoyed with himself as he comes out for the 6th round, and another little twist to this one might be that he's not gone beyond 6, Tony Bellew. And Ajisafe has.
Anthony Farnell knows Bellew will start to feel sorry for himself, expected this fight to be over at this stage. Got put down, his pride is hurt. Everything he's trying, he's not getting the success he wants. Ajisafe is still there like a gnat in front of him, giving him a hard time. For Ajisafe, he knows this is his territory now. He's been here before. Got an awkward jab.
Fiddly, difficult opponent, almost in the who needs him club. Bob Ajisafe was unlucky not to get round the challenger Carl Wilkes in prize fighter in their quarter-final. Some people booed that decision, but Ajisafe didn't get anywhere near the prize money. But he's useful.
He's useful and he will test everybody at any level. But Bellew needs to start being smart about his work. Don't be so predictable. We know he can punch. We know he's a stronger fighter in there, but he needs to get smart about how he does it. Because as he steps up in level, they will figure him out.
Both big boxing fans. Tony Bellew tries to get his left hook going in the right hand as a touch of toe-to-toe action is added to this in the 6th. Bellew's hero Riddick Bowe. Ajisafe, Shane Mosley. Good fighters.
Bellew's getting into the habit of complaining, shaking his head instead of getting on with work. Come on, you can't play that game. Can't go on like a spoiled child. Get on with the job.
Well, it's a fascinating one that's developing because it was one-sided for 3 rounds, and that knockdown in the 4th from Ajisafe's left hand has changed the pattern, and Bellew trying to get himself set, find a rhythm. Not happening.
Maybe Bellew tried to look past Ajisafe, setting that left hand up. Ajisafe popping the jab in, sneaking it through. As Farnell said, don't let him nick the rounds, don't let him sneak in, don't let him find anything to give him confidence through this fight.
Oh, right hand there, just slapped through from Bellew. He's changing from southpaw to orthodox. But is there a plan B here?
But look what he's doing, he's chasing after him round the ring instead of cutting him off. He's making this a hard job for himself, intent on just trying to bully and punch Ajisafe out of the fight.
Approaching the halfway point, and promoter Frank Warren is up off his dinner table. I think he's going to go over to the corner and see what's happening with
Listen to me.
Tony Bellew.
You're sticking to the plan. Listen, you're sticking to the plan. Come on.
Throw to his chest, yeah?
Close your eyes.
Tony, listen. Lift your shots up inside. You won't miss them with them. Get your jab going and lift your shots up inside.
Well, as well as being a promoter, he is a boxing fan and he knows the sport inside and out. Frank Warren. He was annoyed at Nathan Cleverley's tactics last week, but Cleverley stole the show. What about this for
smart enough
Bellew?
to pull his way through, and Clay was always Cleverley's own way, but this time for Bellew it's not all his own way. Ajisafe is stealing through the rounds, slipping his jab in between the guard of Bellew, dropping his left hand over the top. Bellew's leaving himself open, intent on trying to knock Ajisafe out.
Just glance back at Nathan Cleverley in the studio, who's smiling. I think he realises the weaknesses are being exposed tonight of Tony Bellew. Here's the second half of this Commonwealth light heavyweight title defence. He won the belt in 2 minutes 27 seconds. This is becoming tough already.
But Bellew will be having that same argument with himself, knowing Cleverly's watching, knowing he's made mistakes, fundamental mistakes, but he's now got into a rut. Can't get rid of this man when predicted he would.
Good shot from Bellew there, though. We know he's got the equaliser. Might have to rely on power to get this done, because skill-wise, at times he's being outsped and outthought by Ajisafe.
He is. He's just made himself so predictable, and I'm quite sure Bellew has a lot more to show for this inside the gym, but he's just underestimated the look past Ajisafe. You cannot do this in this game.
Yep, all the talk was of a knockout, no doubt about that, from Bellew when we saw him in Birmingham, keeping an eye on Nathan Cleverly's performance last weekend. Now the roles are reversed. The blood from the nose of Bellew, plenty from the nose of Ajisafe, who's shown so much spirit here because he's been on the receiving end of some heavy right hands.
This is how his career's gone all the way through. He's never had an easy fight, so he's had to dig in, showing his heart, clips a nice sleeky left straight through the guard of Bellew. And as this fight is rolling on, he's getting more and more success as the rounds roll on. Bellew will go back and have his own little pity party in the corner, as if to say, this shouldn't be, I shouldn't still be here.
Although he's bobbed and weaved and looked unsteady and unstable at times, Ajisafe hasn't gone down like Bellew has. Legitimate knockdown. Missed by a mile there, Bellew. Predictable.
And Ajisafe is so open for a nice tight right uppercut.
Just grimaces again, Bellew. Really hoping to shine down in the capital. Is it just turning into a nightmare for Bellew? Just can't seem to get his punches off, and he knows it.
Making the mistake of walking straight into the shots from Ajisafe. That's what put him down in the first place. Left himself open, thought it was all one-way traffic, walked into a left.
Again, just overstretching Bellew. The composure has gone, and Ajisafe is catching the champion, who's in deep water now. Let's get Nathan Cleverly's thoughts in the studio.
Yeah, I just think it just shows what a slight step up in standard can do. You know, Bellew's struggling with Bob Ajisafe, who's a slight step up in level for him. You know, he's not the best, but I think Bellew is very average tonight, very average.
Nathan, what would you advise Tony Bellew to do now to keep his unbeaten record intact over these last few rounds?
He's obviously relying on his power, because when he hits people, he's used to people going over. But the better guys don't fall over that easy. So he needs to get behind his jab, start boxing, and not be so sloppy.
Do you think he'll win?
Yeah, I think he'll win. He could possibly get a late stoppage. But this is new territory for Tony. He's never been into the later rounds. So Bob Ajisafe is still in the fight.
Thanks, Nathan. Great insight there. Only one body shot landed from Ajisafe. It's more from Bellew. He's winning the fight probably still, you know, on the three judges' scorecards, Johnny, but he's not shining.
Winning the fight, but making himself predictable, showing his Achilles heel to not just Ajisafe, but to everybody at ringside, and fighters that are looking at him now as a Commonwealth champion.
22% ratio on knockout power, Bob Ajisafe. That's one of the problems. He's had to go the distance on so many occasions. He's gone 8 before. He did that against Oval McKenzie. So it'll be uncharted territory for the pair of them beyond this. Bellew talking to Ajisafe in there. Not sure Ian John Lewis, the referee, will take much of that.
Ajisafe just will not give up. At times you think he's almost gone, hurt. Backing off, he comes back with a long jab, slips a desperate left in.
Still those rights though that were giving Bellew success, especially in the first 3 rounds. Might just be his ticket to keeping hold of his Commonwealth belt. But a struggle, no doubt about that.
Can't make the mistake of being put down again. Remember, Ajisafe has only knocked out 2 of his opponents out of 8 wins. So not the biggest of punches.
Interesting what Nathan cleverly was saying about levels as well. He had to step up to win the Commonwealth belt against Tony Oki, and that was his coming of age. He's gone on to be a triple champion on the threshold of the World Title Challenge. You know, Bellew is just learning the game still.
Right, and now he's starting to try and change the game plan. Give Ajisafe a little bit of confidence so he opens up and throw the shots and then pick him up. He's backing off a little bit instead of trying to bully him down.
Good skills from Ajisafe. Boxing on the back foot, but he's caught there by Bellew. That's the difference in punch power. Just trapped on the ropes. Dominic Ingle furious that that wasn't sorted out, but there's a despondent look by Ajisafe. Will he unravel? Will he fall apart? This might be Bellew's chance to get the job done, and he just again stumbles down Ajisafe.
Changed the game plan for a split second, gave Ajisafe the confidence to open up, and then started to clip him, got a little bit of success. Will he be smart enough to go back to that again if he pushes round?
From Bellew, 15 left in the 8th. And if he ever needed a knockout, and quickly, it's now Tony Bellew. It's been much tougher than he felt, but he's on the verge of breaking Ajisafe down.
Yeah. Bob, listen to that. Listen to me. Deep breathe. Deep breathe. Deep breathe. Deep breathe. Deep breathe. Do that. Put your face forward. Put your face forward. Right. Listen to me. Listen. It's hard in there. It's boxing. Listen to me. Use your jab and keep your guard. You got caught with one shot.
Is it a matter of time now?
It's a matter of time. Dominic Ingle's got a cheerlead Ajisafe. He knows he's a broken man, but he's using a large, strong jab. Frustrates Bellew. Bellew gets angry, looking for that opening, then working. All of a sudden, Bellew comes back, long right hand, straight through the middle. That rocked Ajisafe. Had him on the back foot, and what Bellew did was give him confidence the first half of the round, took advantage of that when he opened himself up, and that's what's worked for him, and that's what you get when you change your game plan halfway through a fight. He's got to start doing that.
Furthest both fighters have been in their pro careers in this championship fight for the Commonwealth light heavyweight title, but real problems for Bob Ajisafe at the end of the 8th, and if Tony Bellew has a fast start to this session, that scorecard might not be needed.
77 to Bellew, Ajisafe 74. Fair guard, but hearing the tone of voice in Dominic Ingle, I could see Bellew, if Ajisafe is under enough pressure, I could see him attempting to throw the towel in.
Johnny's unofficial marking, of course. Mark Green, Marcus McDonald, and Richie Davis around us, around the ring. I'm sure they're surprised that they've been needed this long. Most people predicted Bellew by stoppage after 3, 4, 5. Left hook. It's getting harder and harder for Bob Ajisafe, who despite the flash knockdown in the 4th hasn't managed to hurt Bellew since.
Landing with a lot of shots, Ajisafe still shipping a shot, still shipping a lot from Bellew.
It's a good effort this from Ajisafe, but Bellew as well showing heart and belief and resistance as well to deal with a minor crisis, the first in his career, and now he's asserting himself again.
I'm surprised how he neglects to use that long jab. Instead of, he's just sitting and trying to measure the shots up. You cannot do that the higher levels you go. You've got to start using what you've got.
You've got to give credit for Ajisafe being a slippery southpaw, but I can't believe how much Bellew has missed tonight. Time and time again.
Unbelievable, and you know what, he's got to go back to the corner. Anthony Farner will have a good word with him in the gym. You can't make mistakes like this because these are career changers. got clipped again by the left hand, both fighters.
And when they trade though, it's Bellew who has the advantage. And Ajisafe just looks once in a while as if he's going to go. Not yet.
Bellew complaining, a little bit tired, gets a breather. It's a bit of kidology it is, saving himself a bit of time, bit of space.
2 years older Bellew, but looks the younger man, the fresher man in there. Physically, doesn't look like these later rounds are having much of an effect, and he's just grinding out the win here, Tony Bellew. End of the 9th round. They're calling for an uppercut in the corner. There's blood from both of their mouths. Again, Bellew shakes his head. Not happy with tonight.
Instinctively, Ajisafe was just slipping the shots when Bellew bombs them in. Just under pressure constantly.
You're not letting him work. It's not like he's not letting you work. You're not throwing more than one shot. You've got
missing.
So, miss with 3, miss with 4, the little with the next one. Keep on throwing and keep on throwing. You need to throw one shot.
Strange fight, isn't it?
This is the difference in power. Both fighters just coming back, exchanging. Bellew's big, powerful shots coming through, but Ajisafe just didn't have the power to rock, to hurt Bellew. But when Bellew put the pressure on Ajisafe, you could see the difference. The legs when pushed him, bullied him up against the wall, chased him round the ring. He was hurt, he was staggered.
Got a question for you, Johnny. Do you think that Tony Bellew is trying too hard to impress on what is his night?
Too busy looking good. He's making an easy job, a hard one. This job could be so much easier for him if he used his class, his speed, his strength, and that nice long jab, but he became predictable.
Championship rounds, 9 minutes to go. Tony Bellew surely away ahead on points in defence of his Commonwealth title here. The blue trunks of the Evertonian fan, the dad of 2, boxing for sons, Kosi and Kobe. But Bob Ajisafe, he wants a win, he wants the upset, and you know, you can't really believe he's still in this, but he is, and he's coming forward.
That's what makes him a determined character. Bellew not done much this first 30 seconds of the round. Backed off, give Ajisafe the confidence to come on, let the shots go.
I think big credit as well has got to go to Dominic Ingle for somehow nursing Ajisafe through the opening 3-4 rounds. It looked like he almost wanted a way out, didn't want to be here in London tonight.
They knew it was going to be a hard first half of the fight. They knew Bellew's never been this far in any professional fight he's had. So this is unknown territory for him.
Lefts and rights from Bellew, just forcing the shots out. Anyway, it hasn't been smooth, but a win, albeit ugly, is the important thing for Tony Bellew to protect that unbeaten slate and keep the story rolling on.
There's one bad habit Bellew has, and that's complaining. Puts her hands down and say, "Ref, come and have a word." He can't do that because we've seen so many fighters try that, get clipped.
Again, the jab troubling Bellew. Whatever happens here, Johnny, there is work to be done in Anthony Farnell's gym.
Yeah, there is, and let's hope Bellew's got the brain and the know-how to say, you know what, I know I'm not the finished article.
He certainly, I know, got the determination. Wants to succeed, maybe more than anyone else out there, Tony Bellew. But Bob Ajisafe has come down and showed a real gallant streak.
And again, he's put himself in a position where to make himself so awkward with Bellew and put him down, he can stay in that Who Needs You club.
Only the 10th fight, remember, for Bob Ajisafe, who's never had things easy. Just trying to get that right hand going. Where are the uppercuts that Anthony Farnell ordered?
Predictable with his intent, taps the jab on the forehead of Ajisafe, then tries to slam the right hands in. Ajisafe smart enough and still slick enough to slip out of the way. Good left hand from Ajisafe.
This isn't a bad session for Bob Ajisafe.
When he's
stood there, right? You're looking away, right? That look at Francis like, make him stop. Fuck, make him stop.
Excuse the language in the corner.
Right, you've got to deal with this now. You've got to deal with it. You're going to get these horrible people that don't want to spoil all the time, right? You've just got to get on with it, you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay?
The horrible people that spoil all the time. Weren't you a bit of a horrible fighter, Johnny, for your opponents?
If you want to be a champion, you've got to deal with all types of fighters. He knows Bellew is feeling sorry for himself and frustrated with himself in the corner. And the more the rounds roll on, the more frustrated, the more uptight, the more mistakes he'll make.
Stupid shot. I'm telling you, about box this kid. And use your jab, keep your guard tight, and box him clever. Right? So you got to do weird, but it's not inside to out.
11. Box him clever, says Dominic Ingle. He was late in the building tonight, Bob Ajisafe, and I just wonder whether he's actually got the self-belief that he was going to come here and take that Commonwealth crown home. If he had that as well, things might be even more different.
I know Dominic does that with certain fighters. He brings them into the arena late. Some kids are nervy characters, so you just think, right, well, I'll take you in as late as possible so you can just get on with the job.
Lionheart on that white blood-stained shorts of Bob Ajisafe, the 25-year-old from County Durham, just slipping on the canvas. That happened to Bellew a few rounds ago. He's complaining to the referee, Tony Bellew. This is a real education.
Every fight is a learning fight, but this has got to be a graduation night for Bellew. He's got to go back and say, right, I need to fix this and fix these quick.
He's not going to get all awkward, slippery customers, but he's got to be able to deal with them, Tony Bellew, when they come around.
And remember, Ajisafe is not a puncher. And Bellew's been caught with shots he didn't know where they were coming from. He's got to tighten it up. Not complain. Use his weight when he gets Ajisafe in close. Lean on him. Get him frustrated.
Right hand misses of Bellew. A bit of a trait tonight. Just digging in with the right to the body there. Not flowing. I suppose there's times, Johnny, where you've just got to do things the hard way.
You've got to, and these are the type of fights that leave an imprint on how you fight and how you deal with opponents. It's the best thing that could have happened for Bellew because it will take no one for granted anymore.
Fast burst from Ajisafe. Still showing some talent late on, and that big spearing jab right to the body. He went a couple of times against Oval Mackenzie. He's holding that long body together here. Walks into a right hand from Bellew. That was better. An accurate shot. And again.
But Bellew cannot help but be so predictable and obvious with that right hand that he's trying to slam through. Sets it up every time. If you were looking at him fight, you'd know what he was going to do and when he's going to throw the shot. Ticks, taps the jab out, tries to throw the right hand through instead of being smart with it and sharp with it.
I know it's all talk and bravado and building up fights, but you know, to say that he could go in and knock out Nathan Cleverly, for example, at this stage is really silly, isn't it?
Right now, not in a million years. Nathan Cleverly would play with Bellew, and I know he wouldn't like me saying that. He needs to make sure he adjusts all his mistakes before he can consider that.
Learning a harsh lesson here, Tony Bellew, but we think still winning the fight.
That's Gumshoe. Listen to me. You've lost in the last 2 rounds. You've got to work hard. No, right? I want to make him. Listen, and when he's grabbing you, yeah? No, you look at the referee. Don't get fighters box. Don't start flinging away and trying to.
You've got him by 4. I think I've got him by 4 by a totally different sort of route. It's been a weird fight.
Yeah, they've got to frighten Bellew in the corner as well. They've just told him you lost the last 2 rounds. They've got to G him up so he steps in for that last round to put him under pressure. They've got to scare him not into making mistakes. Bellew 137 to 96 punches landed. So he's working, but missing a lot.
Just gauging opinion at ringside. Our reporter Ed Robinson has it by 2 or 3. And a couple of other members of the press row have got it by 2, by 4 some. So Tony Bellew, should be on course to retain his Commonwealth light heavyweight title going into the 12th round, and I guess at the end of this he can tick that box off. Bob Ajisafe sticking in there, showing, well, willpower that we weren't sure he had in the first 3 rounds.
Ajisafe should be proud of himself for his achievements, no matter what happens at this point. Give Bellew a hard run. Wouldn't make it easy for him. Opened up all the weaknesses we see in Bellew.
And we've given Bellew a hard ride tonight, haven't we? I mean, there are criticisms. You know, he's a likeable guy. He's got plenty of talent. He can learn from this too.
In this game, you've got to accept criticism, and realistically, you'll get criticism because people know you can do better. And he'll probably admit that himself when this fight's over.
I was about to say that. I'm sure in an interview afterwards he will admit that he has been very, very poor tonight by his high standards. Left hand from Ajisafe, and again is there drama in the last session like there was in the 4th round when Ajisafe had Bellew down.
Still got ambition in the last round. Ajisafe still looking for opening. Can't punch, but still clips the shots in. He gets one bit of success, tries to follow up with 1 or 2 shots.
The hands down, more open, easy to hit at this stage, of course, and that left straight through the guard of Tony Bellew. He's running out of time. You'd have thought he'd need a knockout now, Ajisafe. We don't know how the judges have got it. Might be closing things up, but the feeling very much is that Bellew, well, will get the decision if he gets through this round.
Ajisafe has made this a hard night work for Bellew. He'll be so frustrated with his performance.
Yep, giving a really good account of himself, Bob Ajisafe. Tony Bellew himself has hung in there when it's been tough, when it hasn't worked, and you've got to give him some credit for that. But I think it will be a night and a performance he'll want to forget.
But needs to remember.
Blood from the nose of Bob Ajisafe, as it has been all the way through this. Still finding left-hand successes in the very last round. Might have nicked this one too. But Tony Bellew, desperate now to hear that final bell. They're both tired.
Constantly the pattern hasn't changed. Tried to pin Ajisafe down, just can't do it. Ajisafe sneaks in with his own left and right.
Lots of messy at times, but a really intriguing fight. Tony Bellew is really annoyed as well. But there's the respect. Lovely guys, the pair of them. And that's nice to see. He knows, you know, he hasn't put the sparkling performance on Tony Bellew, but he can appreciate what Bob Ajisafe did.
That's right, he's got to give respect where it's due. Look at punches thrown, 155 to 555 to 486. He's done really, really well, Ajisafe.
Still for us, Tony Bellew hangs on to his Commonwealth title though.
But not easily.
Now his 14th outing. Only Bob Ajisafe's 10th, and he really, after a difficult start, got through that, Ajisafe.
Became predictable all the way through. Bellew did try to slam in a big shot, thought he'd have finished this inside 3 or 4 rounds. Ajisafe got used to the pressure, used to the brute force, then clipped him. Bellew walked straight into a left cross from Ajisafe, but came back, showed his character, showed his confidence, showed his championship spirit to try and still take control of the fight. But Ajisafe at no time made this an easy ride for Bellew.
We asked beforehand whether this was the new star of British boxing, Tony Bellew. Obviously not on that performance, but you know, how can he come on to be a real player?
He needs to start working on the basics, work on the jab. He knows he can punch, we know he can punch, he knows he has the right attitude, but he needs to start using a nice stiff jab, cutting fighters off and then chopping the right hand down the middle, but instead of becoming so predictable.
The end of a hard night's work for the pair of them. Let's find out the result.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for both boxers. After 12 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecard and we have a unanimous decision. Judge Marcus McDonald scores the contest 115-114. Judge Mark Green scores the contest 117-111. Judge Richard Davies 116-112. The winner, and still the Commonwealth Light Heavyweight Champion from Liverpool in the blue corner, Tony the Bomber Bellew.
Stays unbeaten, stays the Commonwealth champion by 6-4-1. Strange scoring, strange fight, strange night for Tony Bellew.
Yeah, Tony Bellew fails to shine on a glittering night here in London's West End. We'll get a reaction from Nicky Piper and Nathan Cleverly in a couple of minutes' time, and we'll be hearing from a rather disappointed Tony Bellew. Just the start of a great weekend of action for you. Saturday, the man with the longest unbeaten record in British boxing, John Murray, makes the first defence of his European title against tough Ukrainian Andrei Kudryavtsev. We're live from Wigan. That's Saturday, 9 o'clock on HD1. It's also available in standard definition on Sky Sports 1. Special guest that night, a certain Amir Khan. Tony Bellew on the wrong end of a flash knockdown in the fourth. He retains his Commonwealth Light Heavyweight title, though, beating Bob Ajisafe on points. Let's hear him from now, ringside with Ed Robinson.
Well, Tony, obviously you're still champion, but how frustrating a night was that for you?
It's very frustrating, I'll be totally honest. He's an Ingle fighter. He comes to frustrate, and for him it was mission complete tonight, because first few rounds I had him gone, but you know, this is a learning experience and I've learnt an awful lot tonight.
Were you looking to put too much power in every shot?
Yeah. Simple as that, you know. I was trying to take him out. I wanted to take him out in style, and I hit him so many times, and he's got a balance issue with his feet, but he done really good to stay in here. I give Bob Ajisafe all the credit in the world. I'm highly avoided. Not many people have been wanting to fight me, and he stepped up. I hope now people will watch that fight and they'll want to come out and fight me, but you know, this is a learning experience, and I've been out the ring now since March, so it's a long time, a little bit of rust too, but I'll make no excuses. He's a good fighter. He's very awkward, and over 12 rounds he will pose anybody problems.
You were made to miss and you were made to pay in the fourth round, put down. I think that was the first legitimate knockdown of your career, wasn't it?
Yeah, my whole life, to be honest. To be fair, he caught me completely square, nailed me on the button, and the worst thing about it was actually seeing it coming. But listen, I'm learning. Frank, Arnie, Dean, everybody knows, you know, I'm a talent, and I'll just go from strength to strength. You know, I'll learn from this. I've got a few marks on my face, I'm banged up, but I've got to take the positives as well. I've done 12 rounds. To be honest, I never thought I'd do 12 rounds at light heavyweight, but I have done. And I've took me lumps, I've proved I can take it, I'll give it. And you know, that was a horrible fight tonight, but listen, as I say, once again, it's a learning experience. He was never taking my title. Me two little boys will wake up in the morning and Daddy will be back with a belt, and I'll just keep learning as best as I can.
Frank, does this show that Tony isn't ready for Nathan Cleverly?
No, he's not ready. I've not said that for it. I mean, he wants it, but I know that's not the case, and that's a couple of fights behind. You know, tonight it was like, you know, you can't. It was loading up, looking to throw the big shots. Where sometimes you got to chip away, and eventually you win the fight. You know, there's a couple of times. You know, for me, my observation of the fight was where he's throwing the shots over the top, where he could be done with lifting shots. It was quite a bit of that going on, but. But the bottom line is, got the 12. The positives are you've got the 12 rounds under his belt. We know he's got some stamina now. You know, it's a typical Brendan Ingle gym type of fighter. Comes awkward, and he dealt with it. And he's been out since March, and I think that's a big thing to think about. You know, 6 months out of the ring, and so hopefully now we can move on. He'll be able to gain in Liverpool on the 23rd. Paul Smith fight on Sky, so. He'll be able to again, then get the momentum going again. And then we'll talk about, you know, the Nathan Cleverly fight is really down the road, as I said from day one. It's not going to happen tomorrow. We all know that. He needs more experience, he needs more fights. And that tonight, I'm going to tell you, that tonight, for me, is a fight where Tony's got to look and say to himself, what have I got to do? You know, what should I have done right there? Back to the drawing board. That's what I did.